Hello. In this video, we will look at the process of recovering data from LVM, virtual machine disks, and local directory storage based on Ext4 and XFS file systems created in the Proxmox Virtual Environment 9.1.1 operating system. We will analyze the most common data loss scenarios, such as accidental file deletion via SMB, NFS, or FTP network protocols, deletion of directory, LVM, and virtual machines, data corruption due to drive failure, hardware damage to a server or NAS device, and software crashes of the Proxmox operating system caused by updates or critical errors. We will show how to diagnose disk health, connect drives directly to a computer, and recover data using specialized software. The described methods and tools are universal and suitable for Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. Proxmox Virtual Environment is a powerful open-source virtualization platform that combines the KVM hypervisor for full-featured virtual machines and LXC technology for isolated containers. Thanks to this, administrators can deploy and manage the entire infrastructure from a single web interface, which significantly simplifies server maintenance. One of the key advantages of Proxmox is its support for a wide range of data storage types. These include LVM, LVM Thin, ZFS, Ceph, as well as directory storage with Ext4 and XFS file systems. This allows for flexible configuration of virtual machine disk storage in QCOW2, RAW, and VMDK formats, ensuring an ideal balance between performance and ease of management. However, at the same time, this flexibility creates a complex, multi-tiered structure for data storage. Despite the high reliability of the system, no infrastructure is completely safe from data loss. Hardware drive failures, administrator errors, file system corruption, or failed updates can lead to the loss of virtual machines, LVM volumes, or individual files. Due to the specific architecture of Proxmox, standard recovery methods often prove to be powerless here. That is why it is critically important to understand the principles of data storage in this system and know how to apply specialized tools for their recovery. Therefore, before starting software recovery, we need to correctly connect the server's drives to a Windows computer. You can do this in several ways. The most reliable option is a classic connection via the SATA interface directly to the motherboard. This guarantees maximum reading speed and minimal latency. If there are not enough connectors on the motherboard for the entire array, a PCIe SATA adapter is a great solution that will allow you to connect additional drives. If you do not want to disassemble the case of the computer, you can use external USB docking stations or adapter cables. But remember, the scanning speed via USB will be significantly lower, which will noticeably affect the processing time for large arrays of data. And the most important rule is you should always consider the possibility of creating byte-by-byte disk images. This is especially important if your drives have bad sectors, make unusual noises, or if there is a risk of further degradation. In this case, the software will work with a virtual copy without putting load on the damaged physical disk. In situations where it is technically impossible to connect all the drives needed for recovery to the computer at the same time, for example, due to a lack of free ports, you can use the method of creating their images. An image is an exact byte-by-byte copy of a physical disk saved as a regular file on another high-capacity storage medium. You can connect the drives to the system one by one, create images from them, and then load all the resulting files into the software. The data recovery utility, Hetman Partition Recovery, will work with mounted images in exactly the same way as with real physical drives, allowing you to fully restore the structure of the Proxmox storage and extract the necessary data from it. To create an image, launch Hetman Partition Recovery, select the desired drive from the list, and click the Save Disk button. In the window that appears, specify the location to save the file. Please note, the image size will be equal to the full capacity of the source disk, regardless of how full it is. Therefore, make sure in advance that there is enough free space on the destination drive. Once the image is saved, go to the main menu and select Mount Disk. In the list of types, select Raw Disk Images and load your file. It will appear in the list of devices next to the physically connected drives. If you have multiple problematic drives, repeat this procedure for each one. After all the necessary drives are present in the system, either physically or as images, the software will automatically determine the structure of LVM, file systems, and virtual machine disks and display it completely ready for analysis and recovery. Directory storage based on the Ext4 file system is one of the most straightforward formats in Proxmox. In addition to virtual disks in QCOW2 or RAW formats, it often stores ISO images, backups, or ordinary files. In our example, we will consider a scenario where the structure of such a directory storage was accidentally deleted or damaged due to a system failure. However, even under such conditions, the process of saving data follows a completely classical scenario. For the practical part, we will use the Hetman partition recovery software. This reliable, professional solution allows you to thoroughly scan disks, find all lost data, and safely recover it while preserving the original folder structure as accurately as possible. The download link for the utility is already waiting for you in the description below this video. To find lost data, select the desired physical disk or logical volume labeled Ext4 in the software and start the data scanning mode. To begin with, we recommend using Fast Scan. If the file system structure is severely damaged and the quick search yielded no results, use Full Scan. When the software completes the scan, open the found directory storage. Since in this specific case there was no virtual machine on the disk and only our test files were stored, we will see the original folder structure of the Ext4 file system itself. Now, simply find the folder with our test data, select the necessary files, click the Recovery button, and specify the path to save them to a safe working drive. Another popular data storage format in Proxmox is directory storage based on the reliable XFS file system. Due to its high performance when working with large volumes of information, it is often used to host both virtual machine disks and massive file archives. It is worth noting one very important detail here. If your XFS storage was configured as a shared network folder and accessed via SMB or FTP protocols, the risk of accidental data deletion by users increases significantly. But even in such a case, Hetman Partition Recovery is capable of effectively finding and recovering information lost over the network. The sequence of actions remains extremely simple. Select the found logical partition labeled XFS from the list and start the scan. If the files were simply deleted, the fast scan mode is usually sufficient to find them. In more complex situations, such as after the destruction of the volume's logical structure, use full scan. After the process is complete, open the found file system. The software will correctly display the original directory structure with all existing and deleted data. You only need to go to the corresponding folder of the storage, find the lost network documents or virtual machine images, select them, click the Recovery button, and save them to a safe working drive. Often, the loss of access to data is not related to accidental file deletion, but to the failure of the server hardware itself or critical errors in the Proxmox operating system. This is why in this video we demonstrate the recovery process on a Windows computer, to which you simply need to connect the drives disconnected from the non-working server for further data rescue. To solve such complex problems, we will use the Hetman RAID recovery software. In our situation, after connecting the drive with the LVM structure, the software was unable to automatically determine the type of file system where the virtual machine was located. This often happens precisely after serious hardware or system failures. Therefore, we select this unrecognized logical partition and launch the full scan mode. This powerful algorithm thoroughly checks the disk surface and is capable of reconstructing the file system structure, even in the absence of basic service records. Once the software successfully completes the full scan, it will reconstruct the internal structure of the lost guest operating system disk. From there, the steps are already familiar to you. Since our virtual machine was running on Windows 10 Pro, we simply open the found file system and go to the user's system directory. Go to your profile folder, find all the necessary personal files, select them, click the Recovery button, and specify the path to save them to a safe working drive. In this video, we have looked at the practical process of recovering data from virtual machines and LVM, Ext4, and XFS storages created in the Proxmox Virtual Environment operating system. If you found this material helpful, please subscribe to the Hetman software channel. There, you will find even more practical data recovery instructions for a wide variety of scenarios. Leave your questions in the comments below the video, and we will definitely reply to each one of them. Thank you for watching, and we hope your data is always safe.